The Holy Prophet ﷺ said two things about Imam Mahdi al-Islam, about his occultation. He said the occultation, there will be two types of occultation. Ghaibat, Ghaibat-e-Sughra and Ghaibat-e-Kubra. So there will be, Ghaibat-e-Sughra will be a short Ghaibat, which was for 69 years, starting in 260 Hijrah and ending in 329 Hijrah. For 69 years. Why did the Imam al-Islam first go into Ghaibat al-Sughra and then Ghaibat al-Kubra in major occultation? Because it takes 3 generations for people to get used to of a new idea. And so far the people always had access to the Nabi and the Imam al-Islam. So Nabi al-Islam and Imam al-Islam. And now they were not going to see the Imam, they were going to be in occultation. So that's why he first went into minor occultation, Ghaibat al-Sughra, for 70 years, because that's about 3 generations. And people got used to of the new idea that we don't have access to the Imam, we only have access to the deputy of the Imam. But in Ghaibat al-Sughra, the Imam appointed the deputies. He would appoint that this is my deputy, this is my Naib-e-Khas, this is my Naib. But in Ghaibat al-Kubra, it is Niyabat-e-Amma, Naib-e-Am, a general, it's not a specific Naib. So the Imam al-Islam in 329 went into Ghaibat al-Kubra. And then he said that my Ghaibat al-Kubra, he said to the 4th deputy that you will die on so and so day. Tell the people that you will die on that day. And he prepared his kafan and everything, and he died on that day. And then it will be Ghaibat al-Kubra, and people will not have access to me. And then he said a few things. He said, Halaka fil mustajalun. People who hasten in, why is the Imam not coming? They will lose faith. And people who a lot of the people will lose faith, a lot of people will die stray, but a lot of people will wait. And after a very long time, I will reappear when people are ready for me. There will be a lot of wars before I come, killings, terrorism. So much will happen before I come. And when everything has happened, diseases will spread on earth, and so much will happen. And when all of these things and all of these signs have accomplished, that's when I will come. So wait for me, and the generation should be ready for me. The only thing that will delay my reappearance will be the disputes of my own Shias, because they are going to, when they are ready and they are prepared for me, because they are going to look after me, if they are disunited and fighting amongst themselves, then Allah will delay my coming. So the disputes of my own followers will delay my Zahoor. There are many signs mentioned in Shia and Sunni books about the coming of the 12th Imam al-Islam, or Imam Mahdi, Zahoor of Imam Mahdi al-Islam. The Sunnis always call him Imam Mahdi, and we say sometimes Imam Mahdi and Imam Zaman, the Imam of our time, the Imam of our age. So there are 2 types of signs. وَمِنَ الْمَحْتُومِ, there are major signs and there are minor signs. Major signs, وَمِنَ الْمَحْتُومِ, these are for the last 2 years. So until these signs accomplish, the Imam will not come. And those are for the last 2 years. And the minor signs are the ones after which we don't know how much longer will it take before the Imam comes. There are hundreds of minor signs. In just one hadith of Imam Sadiq al-Islam, he mentions 50 signs. For example, climate change, that global warming, whatever you want to call it. So the Imam says you will see summer and winter, and winter and summer, and the weather will change extremely. And many female rulers of the world. Homosexuality will be legalized. Ma'ruf will become munkar. Good will become evil, evil will become good. So he counts many signs. So there are just 50 signs in just one hadith. So there will be many wars. So since the Second World War, there hasn't been a month without war on earth. So there will be many different signs. These are all minor signs. Then comes the major signs. Those are for the final 2 years. One of the most important signs is both in Shia and Sunni books, where the Holy Prophet ﷺ says, Al-ajab kullul ajab bain al-jamadi wal-rajab. So he says the most amazing thing is between Jamadi al-Ula, Jamadi, which is the 5th month in the Islamic calendar, and Rajab, which is the 7th month. So he says these two, between these 2 months, is the most horrific events that are going to unfold. Ulama predict that there will be a war that will kill at least up to 1/3, so probably a nuclear war or something. So the Holy Prophet says that Al-Ajab, and Imam al-Islam has reported it from the Prophet ﷺ, So it is mentioned in Shia Sunni books, Al-Ajab Kullul Ajab, because the Holy Prophet himself uses the word Al-Ajab Kullul Ajab. How amazing, and how, for example, in a negative sense, that how amazing it will be until between Jamadi and Rajab, so much will happen. So this is one of the major signs. So there'll be a war. In Rajab, there'll be 3 risings, 2 of good people and 1 of an evil person. So the 2 risings, one from Khorasan, Mashhad in Iran, northeast of Iran. So from Khorasan, a Sayyid will come, Sayyid Hassani, and some say Sayyid Khorasani. So Sunni Shias have mentioned him. Yamani will come from Yemen. He's a good person. Shia Sunni, both books have mentioned that the Yamani is a very good person. His entire movement will be hidden. His flag will be white. Khorasani's flag will be black. And then evil person will rise from Syria. He is regarded as Sufyani. So probably from the progeny of Abu Sufyan. His name will be Uthman ibn Ambasa. And he will rise from Wadi Yabis, a dry valley, from outside Homs. From Homs he will take over Homs and Halab, Aleppo, and then Damascus. He'll form a government. He'll be very hard-hearted. He'll attack and take over Syria, and then he'll attack Iraq and take over Iraq. Very hard-hearted person. And then there'll be a scream from the heavens in the month of Ramadan, a scream that everyone will hear, and they will hear in their own languages, that the Imam al-Islam is coming. That will be Shab Qadr, Laylatul Qadr. In the morning, Dajjal or Sufyani will announce their agenda, and many people everyone will believe in the night, but many people will again divert after the morning announcement. And then there will be Khasf Bayda. In Bayda, between Makkah and Medina, there is a town, there is a small village called Bayda. So an army will come from Medina who will destroy the grave of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and on their way to Makkah, there will be a landslide and they will all drown and be killed naturally. And there will be a murder of Nafs Zakiya, a Sayyid who will be young, who will be a scholar, very learned person. He will go on Hajj, and on Hajj he'll be assassinated. Baina Rukn wal Maqam, Rukn Yamani and Maqam Ibrahim. While doing Tawaf near Hajr Aswad, he will be assassinated. And the sixth Imam Islam said, exactly 25 days after the assassination of Nafs Zakiya, Sayyid, or Nafs Zakiya, that Imam al-Salam will reappear. So there are all of these major signs, and that will happen in the final 2 years, but there are many, many minor signs.